20 things you want in Tears of the Kingdom. And we're gonna play a little game. If I guess one of these right, you have to subscribe by law. Or cut off all my hair in my sleep, it's fine too. You hope there's a darker story. While Breath of the Wild did have some dark elements here and there, you're hoping Tears of the Kingdom is what Majora's Mask is to Ocarina of Time. You hope there's post-game content. An issue a lot of people had with Breath of the Wild is there was nothing to do after beating Ganon, even if it's small. You hope there's something to do or something changes the world. You hope there's less Koroks. Need I say more? You hope the champions return in some way. Even if they don't directly interact with Link, it'd still be really cool to see them in a past memory. You hope the dungeons are more unique than Breath of the Wild's. The dungeons aren't that bad in Breath of the Wild, but you miss having your classic dungeons. You hope Link has Tears of the Kingdom style champion abilities. Or even better, new abilities. Maybe that can be what Link's arm is for. You hope it has better amiibo functionality than what was shown on Twitter, because the glider customization isn't that bad, but if it's replacing the armor sets, we riot. You hope there's a town rebuild quest like Terry Town. Imagine if there was just Terry Town, but it's on a floating island. And the reason you need to fix it is because the damage it took getting lifted into the sky. Terry Town version 2. You hope there's more collectibles with a better reward. There aren't too many things to collect in Breath of the Wild. Beating every mini boss in the game just gives you medals that you can't do anything with. And the Koroks give you, yeah. Similar to how you want the story to be dark, you want a story. Again, Breath of the Wild wasn't that bad, but you wish there was a little more to it. You hope the game is harder. And again, Breath of the Wild is hard at times, but it's not hard. It's just kind of mean. You hope there are just as many or more fun glitches. A lot of people's favorite thing to do in the original is to run around doing little glitches. So it'd be amazing if Tears of the Kingdom had the same thing. You hope you can play as Zelda. While this probably won't happen, it'd still be a really interesting game mechanic. Maybe you could play as Link above ground and Zelda underground, because, you know, she fell and all that. You hope there are just as many enemy types. We saw some in the newest trailer, which is a good sign, but most of those were just revamps of already existing monsters. Let's hope there's a little more creativity put in the monsters in the game. Another one we probably won't get is underwater exploration. The reason why I say this is because if something this big was in the game, we would have already seen it in the trailers. But imagine if you could dive under the ocean and explore ancient ruins, towns, or even entire water-themed dungeons. But we know how Nintendo does with those. You hope there are new weapon sets. We already got to see Link with a new shield in the trailers, so let's hope there's more variety for other weapons. You hope there are more combat techniques. The combat in Breath of the Wild isn't bad, but after a while, it does get a little repetitive. Unless you're into advanced combat, there's no doubt you get bored of being able to just wipe out a camp with 2 hits. You hope there are new, unique armor sets. Breath of the Wilds were great, so let's hope Tears of the Kingdom lives up to it. While the sequel takes place in the sky, you hope there are references to the Skyward Sword. It'd be amazing to see locations from the game show up in Tears of the Kingdom. But the thing you want most in Tears of the Kingdom is undoubtedly to pet the dogs. We need to pet the dogs, Nintendo. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Click here to see 20 satisfying things in Breath of the Wild.